Ghanatube so near and some air coso ewo on my new aha and I was canina but for slow my science of asanasi it is some air co eba edge ever send a matana city now we will see a quack j and send no edge aba ebusia for a bar na matwaso.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has said that Ghana's economy is improving and recovering to pre-COVID era. He made the statement based on projections that the economy would grow by 3.1% in the first quarter of the year, but it instead surged to 5.8%. Here's more from the 13th edition of the Association of Ghana Industries Industry and Quality Awards 2024.
The Association of Ghana Industries hosted the 13th edition of the AGI Ghana Industry and Quality Awards 2024, uniting industry leaders, innovators, and policymakers to celebrate excellence in Ghana's industrial sector. The event was themed, Navigating the Uncertainties of Our Business Landscape to Sustain Productivity. During the ceremony, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam stated that Ghana's economy is recovering to the pre-COVID era.
Economists will say it has recovered. It has recovered because last year we projected to grow at 1.5%. We grew at 2.9%. This year, by the first half of the year, we're supposed to have grown by 3.1%. We grew at 5.8%. Let me emphasize that the half-year growth 2024 is more than half-year growth in 2019 by 0.4 percentage points. And this is why some of us are optimistic that this economy is returning to the pre-COVID growth trajectory. I would like to pay tribute to you, industry, for the role you have played in growing our economy.
Meanwhile, the president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Eyimdake, appealed to the Minister of Finance to reform Act 891 and tax policies to alleviate burdens on private sector businesses.
When you adhere to and look at the Act 891, it will also help you in the Fisher's equation, where you bring about the stability. And the Fisher's equation talks about what? The nominal interest rate and the real interest rate plus inflation. So that when the Bank of Ghana deploys the monetary policy tools, in where all things are equal, when inflation goes down, the nominal interest rate must go down. This anomaly, you're a student of economics. Respectfully, we believe, go and re-look at Act 891. We are willing to engage you to bring reasonable stability and predictability to business. Finally, we have also embraced tax reforms that all the two political parties are itching to bring up in as to whoever reigns. We really need tax reforms. The complications in our tax positions are not good for business.
The event emphasized the importance of collaboration between policymakers and industry leaders in driving economic growth.
Now, Executive Director of the Fisheries Commission, Fred Ntubwedu, is cautioning fisherfolk against bad fishing practices that would cause a reduction in yield. According to him, over 10% of the country's population is directly dependent on the sector, hence the need to adopt sustainable practices that would not deplete the fisheries resources. He was speaking at the celebration of the World Fisheries Day in Accra.
Ghana earned about $254 million from export of fish and fishery products in 2022. If well managed, the sector could contribute significantly to the socio-economic development of the country, as production is expected to reach 202,980 metric tons in 2024. Speaking at a ceremony to mark World Fisheries Day, Executive Director of the Fisheries Commission, Fred Ntubwedu, said a surest way to build a sector to engage in sustainable and innovative fishing practices.
As we celebrate this day, let's take a moment to appreciate the progress we've made over the past decade. And I urge all of us to reaffirm our commitment to sustainable fisheries while adopting innovative, sustainable exploitation, utilization, and administrative practices to safeguard our fisheries resources and the livelihood of those who depend on it.
Senior Fisheries Officer at the Food and Agricultural Organization, Indiaga Goye, urged the fisher folks to adapt to the changing climate by strengthening the resilience of the fisheries sector.
Climate change also is a major threat, disrupting fish migration patterns and contributing to environmental change that affect the productivity of our ecosystem. Pollution and the impact of illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing are eroding the marine ecosystem, putting at risk the very resource on which we depend. These challenges remind us that while fisheries have sustained us in the past, we must take immediate steps to ensure they will continue to thrive in the future.
This year's World Fisheries Day celebration, which also marks the 10th anniversary of the endorsement of the voluntary guidelines for securing sustainable small-scale fisheries, was themed Blue Transformation in Action.
The Association of Ghana Industries hosted the 13th edition of the AGI Ghana Industry and Quality Awards 2024, uniting industry leaders, innovators, and policymakers to celebrate excellence in Ghana's industrial sector. The event was themed Navigating the Uncertainties of Our Business Landscape to Sustain Productivity. During the ceremony, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam stated that Ghana's economy is recovering to the pre-COVID era.
Economists will say it has recovered. It has recovered because last year we projected to grow at 1.5%. We grew at 2.9%. This year, by the first half of the year, we're supposed to have grown by 3.1%. We grew at 5.8%. Let me emphasize that the half-year growth 2024 is more than half-year growth in 2019 by 0.4 percentage points. And this is why some of us are optimistic that this economy is returning to the pre-COVID growth trajectory. I would like to pay tribute to you, industry, for the role you have played in growing our economy.
Yeah, kwaje ensem no about with major comment comment section down major brain na makenkan na down mamodofo snowy and abetina say ensem no brain no Ghanatube so sisi ade akram.